Here's an essay that I just wrote and I'm about to send out to the Cove congregation. The title is Gingerbread and Later. It's almost been 3 weeks since my dad called and told me my mom had passed. And it was last Monday that Maggie, Debbie, and I attended her memorial service in Norfolk. And during that time, I've thought a lot about both her and my dad, and in particular how difficult it must be for him to adjust to life without Mom. You see, they'd been married for 62 years. And as I think was characteristic of marriages from the 50s, they both had very definite roles. Dad was the breadwinner, and Mom took care of the house. That's just what they did. Therefore, cooking and cleaning are new experiences for Dad. And so since her death, my prayers have been for him. And speaking for myself, I've appreciated all the folks who've told me that they've been praying for me. And so during these last few weeks, I've been thinking a lot about my mom. And it's interesting, my thoughts have kind of drifted to two things, both of which meant a lot to me, mean a lot to me. You see, first, I've been thinking about gingerbread. As a matter of fact, I've not only been visualizing it in that square pan she used lined with wax paper, on a plate with some ice cream or Cool Whip. I could smell it as my mom would take it out of the oven, and of course taste it as I'd eat it slowly just to make it last. Now it's important to note that this gingerbread didn't come from a plastic container or from a box. No, it involved flour and eggs and the kind of molasses that had a rabbit on the label. I'm telling you, it was real gingerbread, and Mom would make it all the time. And for me, that's a reminder, a symbol of just how well she took care of her family. I mean, for her, it was really, really important to have some homemade cookies or a brownie or a square of gingerbread ready for us when my brother, sister, and I came home from school. And she made sure our home was neat and clean without being austere and uncomfortable. Looking back, Mom worked hard, and I mean really hard, to make our lives as easy as they could be. She'd put herself second just so that we could feel we were first. And that included her emotions. You see, for me, that's also related to the gingerbread, because in my humble opinion, that was the very best thing she baked. And I think she must have known that because, like I said, she made it all the time. But when I was about 12, I decided I wanted something else when school was out. And so I asked her to, instead of making gingerbread, to buy some Dolly Madison Zingers, these raspberry Twinkie knockoffs. Now, looking back, I recognize that was stupid with a capital S. But more than that, given the pride she took in her baking, it may have hurt my mom's feelings. But you know, if it did, I never knew it. Instead, I swapped those wonderful baked goods for stuff covered in plastic wrap. And as I look at my growing up, that was my mom. Not insisting on her own way, rather doing what she could to make us feel comfortable and loved. You see, that's what the gingerbread brings to mind, and that's the first thing about which I've been thinking. And second, I don't think I'll ever forget the last words she said to me. You see, Mom had been diagnosed with cancer early in the year, and after finding that the treatment hadn't prevented its spread, she decided to stop treatment, which meant that it was only a matter of time. And so back in July, Maggie, Debbie, Coco, and I went to visit her, knowing that this was probably the last time we'd see her, at least in this world. Now, I've got to tell you, it was a great visit. We had a chance to spend a lot of quality time with both Mom and Dad. And when we left to come back to Weirton, Mom said goodbye to each of us. And even though I don't know what she said to Debbie and Maggie, I certainly remember what she said to me. You see, knowing that this was probably my last visit, she looked me right in the eye and said, "I'll see you later." And you know, that was my mom. She didn't wear her faith on her sleeve as though a person's depth could be measured by the number of times you could squeeze the name Jesus into a conversation. No, for Mom, faith was shown through kindness and loyalty. Her dedication to Christ was both quiet and strong. And as she faced her own mortality, she was absolutely confident of something I probably say at every funeral I do, that at death we're facing a time of separation. And even though it's never easy to say goodbye, it's still just a time of separation. Something that'll end when God brings us together in a recreated universe, when there'll be no more pain and no more parting. You see, when she said that I'll see you again, she meant it because she believed it. And that's the other thing about which I've been thinking during these last few weeks. I'll miss my mom. Of course, I haven't lived in Norfolk for about 35 years, and for most of that time I was far enough away that one visit home per year was all I could manage. And for that reason, I really can't imagine the sadness my dad is facing. Still, God has given me two wonderful images that will always remind me of Mom. First, I'll always have the gingerbread, and second, I'll have the words, "I'll see you later." And I'll carry them both with me until I see her again. Amen.